For starters, some of us are relieved. Relieved because, you see, for a long time, we have always said people will know them, will be known by their fruits, by their actions, yeah? And so I am glad that Mr. Mao has stopped pretending. It's not a good thing to pretend, it's a good thing to take a stand. As opposed to you're neither here nor there, it's good to take a stand and say, this is where I am, no more pretense, and like I said, the cohabiting has come to an end. Now the real wedding has happened. We wish him well. At least now the pretense has ended, all the attacks he has been, heaping at NUP, and we kept saying this man here. So the truth has eventually come out. We wish him well, wherever he has gone. At least now it's clear where he belongs. No, you see, there are many people who pretend to be opposition when they are not opposition. So the sooner those ones leave opposition, the better. When they go, we don't miss them. So he was pretending to be what he is not. So he has gone. We are not going to miss him. But most instructively, even if all of us, by the way, leaders in the opposition, eventually cross over to NRM, God forbid, the people of Uganda remain. The challenges that they grapple with remain. So those people will keep struggling for change. So even if all the leaders betray them, the fact that the challenges that they are grappling with remain, those people will keep striving every step of the way.
One time Museveni said that there is no opposition in Uganda. Is this that?
No, I think what he meant by saying there will be no opposition is because he knows the people he has planted in opposition, who are actually not opposition, who are NRM. So I think what he was saying is eventually he's going to now make public what their secret plans have been, and so it's clear for everyone to see. Omanyi omwami omusajja n'omukyala bayinza okubeerawo nga bakukuta naye ekiseera kituuka either omuwala oba naafuna olubuto ne bagamba wa tugende tutongoze ebintu bino tugende mu kkanisa batugatte bulungi. So kati mukulu Mao bulijjo akukuta naye kati embaga yawedde. Nze mwebaza kubanga ebbanga lino lyonna abadde yeebuzaabuza naye kati avuddeyo n'alaga eggwanga nti wano wengwa ebyokwebuzabuza ebyokukuta birina okukoma. Era kati bannayuganda bategedde omanye ebbanga lino lyonna abadde avuma NUP ng'atulumba naye ng'ali ku kiprojekiti. So kirungi nti kakati buli omu yategedde sayidi gyagwa, kati omwagaliza ebirungi by'ereero bajja ebiri ebirungi gy'alaze. Munnange olunaku ne bwe lutuuka nga ffenna abakulembeze mu opposition tusaze eddiiro ne tudda ku sayidi ya NRM, bannayuganda bo webali ebizibu ebibanyiga bikyaliwo. Abo bannayuganda abo bennyini bajja kwekulamu obukulembeze obwabwe basigale nga balwanirira enkyukakyuka, kubanga ebinyiga bannayuganda byo weebiri bikyaliwo tebikyukanga. So kakati ffe ffenna ne butusala eddiiro ebyo bintu kasita bisigala nga binyigiriza bannayuganda embeera eyo ng'ebanyigiriza bo bokka bajja kwekulamu obukulembeze obulala basigale nga bali ku mulamwa bwe baagala.
Informally. I think all they did was to formalize their marriage. They've simply been cohabiting, doing all the things that cohabitants do. Because the Honorable Norbert Mao has not been on our side for a long time. While we were still in DP, we tried to naively think that we would be able to rescue him and protect him from including amongst others against himself. We thought we would work with him to give a better shape to the party. We knew the challenge we would meet, but we did not think it was insurmountable. We knew of the relationship they had, but we did not think it would be formalized. So to me, I'm not shocked, but the only surprise I suffered was seeing it in writing, for which we thank him, because everybody now knows. And we feel vindicated, those of us who were forced to leave the party with pain. We left with tears rolling down our cheeks, having worked for the party, having been raised by the party, born in the party, but now it has happened. Just to warn him, he's not the first person to dine with Museveni. He's not the first person to enter into this current kind of marriage. And all those marriages Museveni has entered have failed, except one with Mama Jane Kataha Museveni, who I'm told is his wife. And I'm told also that they've been in marriage for 40 years. All the political marriages have collapsed. Why? Because the man is dishonest, The man is a schemer and he's a user. If he thinks he will be different from Agrawari, from Maratubo, and a host of many other people, he's deceiving himself. To DP, I did warn my colleagues and told them we have tried to get the party back on track and failed because Museveni cannot allow us enter into the leadership of this party. 2, it is time for us to leave. I told Norbert when I was leaving that yes, I don't want you to hear in rumors or in the press that I've gone. I have gone. I have left the party because this is what you've been working for. And I said, I know this is what you're paid for. But worry not, I have gone with the party. So if he believes he sold the party or he donated the party to Museveni, he's telling himself a lie. And you know Museveni, Museveni at that age, it's an age that is gullible. It is an age that people can take advantage of. They're taking advantage of him. Of course, he's not bothered because he's not using his resources. These are resources belonging to the country. But if Mao deceives Museveni that he has given him a party, he's lying. 1, the party left. 2, the few that remained there will not go with him. He should ask Sebagala. When he said he was joining Museveni, who did he go with? All the people that were chanting Sebagala didn't go with him. So even this one, he's going alone, maybe with my brother Gerard Siranda.
Was this a strategy somehow to try to scoop the East African position?
Well, first of all, if you want to get to positions opportunistically, they even wasted a lot of time. It was long overdue. If that is their strategy, it's a bad strategy. Because scooping that position of Yala should not be an end in itself. Where else are you taking the country? But if it is the case, then I would advise parents to encourage their children to work and live by their sweat.
Does this justify the statement that it's opposition keeping Museveni in power?
Certainly not. Certainly not, because it's an unfair accusation. All of us are in the opposition. We are working day and night to get Museveni out of power. Yes, some elements may be there, but that means they have not been opposition. So they are not opposition. They are NRM in different colors that are keeping him there. Not even NRM, by the way. It's basically the army. Nobody is keeping him in power. You think he's in power because of a vote? No, Museveni has not been voted. Thank you.
So he was saying that after some time there will be no opposition in Uganda.
I can tell you, yes, I know there is a time when there will be no opposition in Uganda. When we have taken power, and because Museveni is an opportunist, he will join us. So that time there will be no opposition. But as long as he continues with his superintendents here, there will be opposition. Secondly, you're talking about a cooperation between Museveni and Mao. Cooperating to do what? To continue subjecting Ugandans to the alarming levels of poverty, human rights abuse, abuse of our constitution and the spirit of constitutionalism, torturing, imprisoning, and feeding Ugandans on crocodiles. Bw'abagole bano ekisooka bwa kisiraani era tebujja kuwangula kubanga teri bufumbo Museveni bwe yali ayingiddemu ne buwangaala naddala obw'ebyobufuzi okuggyako baŋŋamba nti obwe ne maama Jane kuba bambuulira baŋŋamba nti mukyala we maama Jane Kataaha era mbu bo bakibaddemu emyaka 4 sikiinaako bukakafu era sikirumiriza naye buno bwabadde akola ne bannaffe ne bagulawooli omala tubo n'abalala bwonna tebuwangaala naye ekirala bayingidde mu nkolagana bakole ki okwongera okulumya bannayuganda kubanga enkolagana mugigendamu n'ebigendererwa okutwala ebigendererwa bya Museveni mu maaso ng'atulumye bannayuganda abafa abasibirwa obwereere basibwa abanyagibwako ettaka lyabwe linyagibwa eddembe ly'obuntu lirinnyirirwa simbi za munnansi zibbibwa kati bw'omwegattako n'ogenda mu kye bayise cooperating to do what naye cooperating from when to when ekisooka babadde batambula bonna cohabiting babadde mu bufumbo naye nga bwakyama kati bizze ku mmeeza mukulu namugamba nga ngenda nti ngenze kubanga kyobadde oyagala naye tolowooza nti ekibiina okisigaza tukitutte so bw'abanga yagenze obanga yamuguzizza obanga yamugabidde obanga yakoze atya yamuwadde shell njagala kusaasira Yoweri oba Yeseri tibunanka tibuhabulwa egyo emyaka gyalimu gyakulimbibwa gyakubbibwa bamulimbye ono talina kyamutwalidde amaaso teeka ku lutimbe olabe DP mwawo gyagenda okutwalibwa Museveni teriiwo nakyo bwe kibanga kyakoleddwa mu mwoyo ogwo ekifo osobola okifuna naye n'okikozesa ki maybe okwetaasa funa 10 mu mpale bwe kibanga kyekigendererwa mukubiriza abaana bammwe okukola basobole okweyimirizaawo naye bwe kibanga si kyekigendererwa kyabunafu nnyo ekisooka yeerimba nga bwe bamulimba ekyo ekiseera kisobola kubaawo nga tumaze okukwata obuyinza olw'okuba Museveni nakigwanyizi ajja kubazza okutwegattako n'olwekyo awo tewajja kuba opposition naye ng'akyewaŋŋamiza ng'akyafutubadde mu ntebe y'abannayuganda tujja muwakanya paka lutunaamusuula maawe yagenze mu lwatu abadde akukuta bulijjo mwogera ku opposition abagendeyo nga bakukuta kakati mubategedde ekyo kimu ekyokubiri ne mufa abasigadde bwe mubeeramu abagwagwa abagenda ekiro bebo betwogerako abasezi okitegeera ekyo tekikifuula kirungi era tekikifuula kya kitiibwa era omuntu yenna agamba nti agendayo ekiro ne Museveni tekimuweesa kitiibwa by the way era mpulira abantu benga bakyogerako abamu bajjayo ekiro biki abantu bwe baba abokukyala ewuwo balina kukyala kiro kitegeeza oliko ekizibu kitegeeza owunya nga gwe mikwano gyo gya kiro ekyo kitegeeza nti toli muntu abeereka naawe okiwulira n'olwekyo abagwagwa abagendayo ekiro tebalina njawulo ne Norbert Mao kye bamusingako nti bo bakyalina ku nsonyi omuganda bwakugamba nga nti tolina nsonyi takugamba kiddako.
Mr. Museveni is so much attached to power than governance and the reality on the ground. His advisors appears, if they are there, and in case they advise him, appears to be self-centered. They don't have any tangible research on the ground. You cannot propose electrical vehicles. It is impossible, not practical in Uganda. Even developed countries have not adapted to that technology as of yet. How can it start to be so effective in Uganda? That's an impossibility. We are talking about tax waivers, especially on fuel and essential commodities. What is so hard for him to accept in this country where they are purporting to bail out investors, purported investors, or who normally we discover as crooks? But there's a lot of resources they want to allocate to bail out a number of them. Now we are struggling with ROCO, with all these irregularities. Last time we are dealing with the coffee deal, just for one investor. Now, if they are purporting to bail out even crook investors, what is so hard in bailing out Uganda is by tax waivers, tax holidays, especially on essential commodities like fuel, among others. Proposals by Mr. Museveni and his government are very irregular, very reckless, and very uncalled for. They are not in any way connected with the problem and challenges we have as a community and as people. So we think this government has nothing to offer, and the best option and advice I give them is to resign. Because in developed countries, you saw what happened in the UK. A prime minister resigned just because of simpler mistakes. Simpler mistakes, you could call it simpler, because in terms of Uganda, people are committing grave mistakes by their insisting on power. when you look at Sri Lanka, a president was forced out of power. Not even the military could intervene because the military institutions there know they are for the people of Sri Lanka, among others. But in Uganda, whenever you raise out your voice, even if constitutionally, you'll be faced with detention without trial, no bond, no right to bail, among others. So the whole establishment of the rule of law and good governance has been overlapped. Service delivery focused on the values of the people has been overlapped. Now it is all about communication and communicating without content. Otherwise, Mr. Museveni's address had no ideas and had nothing to offer this country. The best he can offer this country is a resignation, and we have a people-centered government. And that's why we detest that his being in office is not legitimate. And if it was legitimate, he will know the values and aspirations of the people. And that's why we also disagree. The steps taken by some colleagues in the opposition, joining Mr. Museveni and working with Mr. Museveni, they are uncalled for. But the good thing is, the people of Uganda know their challenges. As we speak now, the people on the ground, you found in Kampala, hawkers, traders, roadside traders, among others, people are losing their properties under the disguise of a city. You cannot have a city without people. We cannot have a clean city without a people. Just support people to build structures, support people to do better businesses, support people with better markets. But you are selling away market because people who are trading in a window market, for example, we are chased away. It is the same Mr. Museveni who ordered the cancellation of title. Now they resort to working in other places which they can afford. Again, KCCA is hunting for them. Now, which kind of country is this? Now you find a purported politician now joining to work with Mr. Museveni amidst all these crises and crisis. That's being unfair, that's being self-centered. But for us as NUP, we revolved from people power. We understand the power and the aspirations of the people of Uganda. We stand for that. And as long as Ugandans are being challenged, as long as Ugandans are witnessing high levels of corruption and high levels of impunity in this country, we shall resist, and we shall continue resisting. The voices of the people will always stand. Whether a singular leader makes a mistake or crosses to die with the oppressor, others will remain there because they are oppressed, and what they undergo is not just a lecture, it is the situation they are undergoing. So there's nothing that will affect the opposition, there will nothing that will affect the alternative government and alternative views and voices, and for us we shall remain strong. And most of these mistakes are committed by elders who think they are political giants, but little do they know that the politics have evolved now to involve the younger ones, to involve a common man, to involve even the poorest of the poor in the ghetto. We are there and the voices will always stand. Right will remain right and wrong will remain wrong.
That Mao has eventually manned up to declare something that has been of his interest for a long time. So finally he has come out. Because when I was still in DP, this was the case. He was dilly-dallying with the NRM, but now he has finally come out. But I'm not surprised. And besides, we didn't expect everyone to be part of the struggle till the end. Even the children of the Israelites, all of them never reached the promised land. So he has contributed and he has left, but the struggle will go on. It is very unfortunate that at this time, when we're looking at liberating this country, one of a good Ugandan decides to move to the side that we think should be leaving, power. It is absurd, but we wish him well there. The issue is, when you look at the agreement, I think it was between him as a person and his Secretary General, not binding the Democratic Party. Because when I was member of the Democratic Party, they have a constitution, and it clearly states how a party, DP, can cooperate with other parties or form alliances. And this would emanate from a national council or a delegates conference. So without that, then it can't bind the Democratic Party. He has gone as an individual, and I think the DP will find a way out of this and solve such a problem, because this party has existed for a long time. I think it will move out of this problem. But I know Norbert went as an individual with his Secretary General. Yes.
Honorable,
Yeah.
I have seen a video from Honorable Rumeibayiga.
Yes.
He says that Honorable Mao wants to stay in DP but go and serve in government.
No,
That's what happened. Is this possible?
But I have just cited that the DP constitution is very clear on how a party can ally with another party. So once you choose to move and work as an individual, then you can't bind others. Because actually, I think the agenda of the Democratic Party is to take power and move the NRM, which is headed by President Museveni. So if you decide to cross to the NRM, that means that you no longer have such aspirations. And the decent thing to do is to leave. So clinging on the party leadership is, so I think I think he needs to man up. You cannot serve two masters at a go. You cannot be opposition and also be NRM. It can't happen. So you have to choose one side. I thought the Nobert I know would know that. I'm surprised that it has come to that. But anyway, we wish him well where he has gone. But I want to assure him that Museveni is still a dictator. He has not changed. Yes. Of course, the opposition has been on, and we are still here, and we are still fighting to see change in this country. If one person falls off, it doesn't mean we are gone forever. We just wish him well, and we are still here to stay to see that our change country gets better leadership. Ekisooka Mao alabika ye byalubirira byaweddeyo. Kati nga bwe yatuusaawo n'alaba nga byonna biweddewo. Kyannaku nti bwe muba mutambula muli mu lugendo abamu oyinza obutabategeera ki kye baluubirira n'olowooza nti bali ku bye muliko naye nga si bye baliko. N'ekyo kisoboka, n'ekyo tekitumalaamu maanyi, kitukwasa nnaku ku lulwe. Tebbanga lyonna ly'amazze ng'atubuulira nti omusajja oli mubi, bino si byakulimba, ensi yaffe agizza mabega, ate nkya ne musayininga endagaano, kitegeeza nti abadde atulimba oluberera. Naye asize mu lusuku lwa sitaani, ate asiga mu lusuku lwa sitaani takungula. Kubanga toyinza mala myaka 2 ng'ate omuntu govumirira ate n'ogenda n'oga tukoze endagaano kuki. Naye ekirungi nti yasayinize nga ye ne Siranda, kubanga amateeka ga DP nali mu DP era ssemateeka waayo mumanyi bulungi. Okukola omukago oba okukola enkolagana n'omuntu yenna oteekwa okuba nga otuuziza olukiiko olwa National Council ate nga ne Delegates Conference erina okuba informed okusalawo omukago gwonna oba enkolagana. Naye kati ebyo teyabikoze, ye yagenze mbw ate akomewo ababulire. Tosobola kubeera ng'oli mufumbo mu maka 2. Tekisoboka. Olina okulondako ki? Amaka eddiya limu. Kati ate toyinzaga ndi wa DP ate ndi wa NRM. Nedda byamusobyeko dda, naye tumukkiriza agende ekibiina ky'abanna kibalekere era eno opposition agiveemu agirekere abo abasobola okuguma mu mbeera yonna okulaba nti balwanirira ensi yaffe.
Kyakwewuunyisizza kye yakoze?
Tekyanneewunyisizza kubanga ne bwe nali nkyali mu DP era yali akolagana ne gavumenti eno ate nga ffe twagala kujja mwami Museveni mu buyinza. N'olwekyo naye yabadde mugumu n'avaayo kati n'alagira ddala naye nga yakikola ddala era abadde amaliriza bumaliriza kulaga nti kati nasalirawo ddala. N'olwekyo nze tekinneewunyisiza era DP emuwonye.
President Museveni agamba tewaliyo opposition ntuufu mu Uganda. Kano ke kabonero.
Mwami Museveni bw'agamba nti teri opposition yeerimba kubanga buli waba atudde several times ayogera ku buzibu opposition bwemutaddeko. Tetwandibadde wano we tuli singa opposition teriwo. Emulabisizza mu bintu bingi nnyo naye era nga omukulembeze atakyalina nsonyi bw'abeera afubutukafubutusa bigambo kati ye kyagala kyakubawo naye ng'amanyi nze ndi opposition n'abalala bannange bangi. Tulina ne Kyagulanyi president wa NUP naye wa opposition n'abalala bangi abatalina mu bifo abatassa mu kimu na NRM oba na gavumenti eno. Kati kyalina omanya nti ffenna nga bw'olaba naye wuwe bamegukayo buli ssaawa mu opposition tuyingiza ab'NRM. Abakulembeze bonna bemanya abasinga basooka kukolako ne Museveni. Kati naffe oluusi bwafunayo omu tekitegeeza nti tewali opposition. Okitegeera kubanga naffe tumanyi naye waali. N'olwekyo abeere mugumu opposition weri era tagenda gimalawo era egenda kulaba nti Uganda ekyuka.